What up, guys? Coach Nate Brigneri here, founder and owner of Nate Brigneri Fitness and creator of the 7-Day Obstacle Race Ready Planner. Now, this is a continuation of the 3 mistakes most obstacle racers make when they're hitting the course for that first time or that next race. Now, I just want to share with you my race ready formula, and this is kind of like what to expect when you get to that obstacle course race. Now, a lot of people think that an obstacle course race is just one thing, right? It's just one component all in the same day. And I've really conceptualized it as 3 distinct parts. You have the preparation before the race, you have the actual race itself, and then you have after the race, recovery, what you do after the race, right? And these are components that I think a lot of people breeze over because they're not quite thinking in terms of the actual tactics of how to go through the entire event. It's not just one thing, there's distinct components throughout. Now, with that being said, I just want to address the preparation for before and how to get yourself prepared for that race. And I want to share with you top 3 tips to get yourself ready for that race. And this is a component of a larger 10-part series, which I'm going to be breaking up into these three distinct parts. So without further ado, let's get into that first part, which is the getting ready for the race. Now, a lot of people, when they're getting ready for the race, they simply don't race in the gear that they're training in, right? So they buy all this new gear and they just save it for race day, and then they try it out for the very first time during the race. Now that's a disaster because you really want to make sure that the equipment that you have has been tested and you've been beating it up in your training and you know how it performs so that when you hit the course, you're not taken by surprise in terms of what happens with it, right? So as you can see, this is kind of like your traditional running shoe. It's got that slope in the back and the treads, you know, kind of flat, not really that aggressive in terms of good traction. So if you're running off trail, especially in mud, it's gonna basically fall apart, right? Now, you wanna be looking for something more like this. This is Salomon Speed Cross. It's got the speed laces here, and it has this really aggressive tread on the bottom, which is really gonna grip that mud, and it's gonna make sure that you have some traction on and off the obstacles as well. And as you can see, you know, it's not like necessarily a new shoe. It's been beat up, it's been trained in, and that's lasted me for 8 seasons now. So you really want to make sure that the equipment that you have is durable, it's going to last, but also see it as an investment that you're going to be using for a really long time. So you want to make sure it's durable, you want to make sure you're testing it, you want to make sure you're putting it through the ringer. So race in the gear that you train in, right? That's step 1. Now, the second part is you got to challenge yourself. That's right. Now, a lot of people, when they're training, they simply just kind of stick with what they know, and they don't really push out of their comfort zone, right? They go with the split body routine, they kind of do the 3 sets of 10, and they kind of just do what they know, right? And the problem with that is that you really kind of lure yourself into that false sense of security. So you hit the race, and then all of a sudden, when these obstacles stack up back to back to back, you found that you're not able to keep up because your muscles fatigue really quickly because you haven't been really pushing yourself to that next level. And one of the keys here with this one is, in addition to, you know, the lifting heavy and running hills, is that you actually need to train with people of different skill sets. So if you have a different friend group, you know, pick that one friend that's, you know, in a lot better shape than you, train with that person, and then have that person challenge you and try to really keep up with that person. And that's going to actually force you to get better at the techniques that you're learning. It's going to mix up your routine and just challenge you in new ways. Also, I'd recommend is training with people who are in lesser shape than you, because then you're going to teach what you're learning, and that's going to help kind of remind you about these lessons, and you're going to learn quicker by constantly seeing these new techniques and then repeating them to other people, and then learning the different ins and outs of what you're capable of. And then the third part is that a lot of people simply don't get enough sleep, right? So you really want to make sure that come race day, and specifically through your training, that you're just getting enough sleep so your body can recover. You know, you're taxing your body a lot. You want to make sure that that muscle is rebuilding, you're getting the right nutrients, and you're properly fueled and properly ready to go to push to that next level in the workouts. So those are the 3 tips for getting ready for the race. And if you want to get a little bit more in depth with how to prepare for an obstacle course race, definitely check out my 7-day obstacle race ready planner. Check out the link in the bio, and we can jump on a call. We can talk more about what that entails and get you signed up for the group. So hope to see you in the group and out there on the course.